Yes,
Theodore
sir.
Lewis. And how old are you?
I'm 48 years old.
And how long have you been a resident of Denver?
20 since 1994.
94, okay. 25, 26 years.
Yeah.
And where did you live before that?
California, that's where I went to school at, and ended up getting my GED in New York because I was going through the homeless thing, got in a little trouble, and they sent me to an alcohol place, which is called Delancey Street. It's in San Francisco, North Carolina, Brewster, New York, in New Mexico. So they ended up sending me because I was so young and I was around older guys. They sent me out to New Mexico, and then that didn't fit with me, so they sent me out to New York, and that's where I worked out a lot better.
I see. What were the things that were challenging for you growing up?
My mom, my mom and my two older brothers, they work for the prison systems. And so they always wanted me to just go in the right way and do the right things. And I just seemed not to catch on to a lot of that. So I was getting in a lot of trouble being out in the streets and living out in the streets and doing a lot of wrong things. So that led me to get into a lot of trouble and eventually being out on the streets. I had in 1992, after I had graduated from Delancey Street from the alcohol place, after 2 years, I left there and I thought I was doing the right thing, but when I was on the airplane leaving Brewster, New York, coming back to California, I started crying because I just knew something wrong was going to happen. And I got back out on the streets and living on the streets and doing the wrong things and ended up going to prison. Got out of prison and came here to Colorado and ended up getting in trouble. I was living, and they had a hotel over on 11th and Broadway, and I was living there, but started doing the street things and living on the streets and a little bit in that hotel. So that just started a lot of stuff. And I was more, I had when I got out of prison out of here, I had my first child. She's 21 now. And she's real good. She graduated. I tried going to CCD, going to college and everything, and that didn't work out. I wanted to be out on the streets and living out on the streets. And started trying to, which is kind of weird, I don't do drugs or anything, but I started drinking alcohol, and I think that would take away from a lot of sore out of me and pain that I had in my head instead of just talking to somebody and getting it out for me, and I used alcohol. And I was getting the DUIs and getting in trouble. And that's where I met my second daughter's mother and had her. And was doing all right, started doing the plumbing and everything else, but it just didn't work out. I just always come to the streets.
So, you go by Theodore?
I go by Teddy.
You go by Teddy?
Yeah.
Okay, Teddy. So, Teddy, what is your life like now? Like, where did you sleep last night?
Last night, there's apartments that if somebody opens up the apartments, I go in there. And I just go in this little area by the exit area where it's carpet, and I lay down and I just sleep there, and that's what I do now, And it's a trip because in 2015, that really kind of messed everything up. I was talking to a friend, and I got off of work. He said I was acting unusual, so he pushed me away, and I tripped over a lady and landed on the ground, and I went into a coma. So now I have seizures. I got a thing with my brain, and I got blood clots and everything, so I got to take that medicine every day.
Where do you get your medicine or your medication from?
From the Denver General.
So let me ask you this. So you have health issues.
Yeah, I got very bad hip.
In addition to like the head damage, like what? Can you tell me all the issues that you suffer from? And are you getting all your health care from Denver General then?
Well, my doctor, she's over on the West Side Clinic, which is part of Denver General.
West Side Clinic?
Yeah,
okay.
The West Side Clinic, and that's where I see her. And she just said, that glad that in a lot of ways that you don't drink the way you used to drink.
Yeah.
And you're taking your medication.
Yeah.
Because I wasn't taking my medication because part of my brain is kind of separating parts of it. So they got me on medication for that. And I got accused of something, but anyway, the jury found me not guilty. And when I got out of jail, they found blood clots just all over my body.
What are those from?
They don't know. Me and my mother has them.
Okay.
My mother, she's still surviving.
How old is she?
She's 72.
And where does she live?
She lives in California. The only reason why I'm here is because I have the 3 kids. I don't have no family out here.
Uh-huh.
And so my mom and my uncle, Edward, they get mad at me when they talk to me that I don't come back to California, you know. But
I see.
and they don't like me being out here in the streets and living on the streets and stuff like
How old are
that.
your kids?
21, 18, and 16.
And where are they now? Who watches over them?
My oldest daughter, she's with her mother because the grandfather had passed away. God bless her. The grandmother's still alive. My son, he's mad at his mother, even though he graduated from high school. So he's pretty
Already
much
at 15?
no, at 18.
At 18,
At
okay.
18.
Uh-huh.
And so he's out in the streets and he's doing this thing which I don't agree with, you know. And my daughter, she's 16, and she lives out in Monte Vista. And her grandparents, they're from Mexico, and her mother's from Mexico. So they kind of don't understand her being with the black man, you know. And so she felt that the religion, their nationality should have been the same. So
Yeah.
I don't really get to see her that much.
Sorry. How do you spend your day? Do you have a job or do you
No,
looking for income?
I met a guy over on 14th and Santa Fe
Yeah.
in apartments, and they're remodeling the apartments. So he would just go ahead and let me come to work with them during the day.
Nice.
And he would just pay me cash. So
Uh-huh.
it's over with now.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm just out here struggling. I was thinking tomorrow to try to go to a temp service and get the money and go in and go get a motel and start staying in a motel.
Yeah.
But just being out in these streets is crazy. It really is. It really is.
It seems hard.
It
Hard
really
life.
is.
How much would the motel be? So in other words, when you're working, how much can you afford to pay for a
Well, I have to
per
go
night?
2 days. You got to pay $65 for the Motel 6.
Uh-huh.
And so, you know, that's only 2 days you got to put together because I was in prison, so they taken back on some of my child support.
Yeah.
And so they're taking some of that out, and so sometimes I gotta go 3 days, just depending on what temp service I go to. And that's the struggle, you know. And my kids, they understand, you know, I was in prison, that's why I got backed up. And they just gave us the $1,200, and so
Yeah.
and they just gave the whole check to her, you know, so it knocked it down a little bit more. And so I'm going through alcohol and therapy right now to be able to drive. I was finally able to get my driver's license, but I don't have no income to be able to afford a car, you know, and do those different things.
Yeah.
You know, and there's a lot of like churches that help me, like on 26th and Welton. I went there yesterday and got these clothes right here. And then Father Woody's, which they just had an incident, somebody pepper sprayed somebody, so they closed that. That's where you can go somewhere to go take a shower and they'll give you something to eat. And then Rary campus, they got lunch. They do lunch at the church there, which I was going to go today, but saw that they had this over here and you guys doing this, so I stayed over here.
I understand.
You
Okay.
know, so.
Awesome. Let me see. Okay. Adam, any more questions? We're coming up on 10. Yeah. All right. I want to thank you so much for sharing your struggles with us. I'm sorry that, I'm glad that there are other people who were helping before us trying to come out, but I want to thank you for your time today.
Thank you guys for all your
Yeah,
time.
I hope that you can talk to your kids.
I'm hoping
Yeah.
to. God
Yeah.
blessing us.
Sure, yeah.